News happening here in Ghana. Concerned citizens of Atiwa landscape urge Mahama to repeal LI 2462 and protect Atiwa Forest Reserve.
Coco, why are we having this conversation again?
Because
I thought that, the past governments were dealing with it. Yes, I remember that Parliament had all these majority issues, so lots of government issues were not dealt with. But shouldn't it have been one of the first things we dealt with the new government?
There are a lot of people who believe that they have somebody is calling it bona fide, but of course bona fide rights or whatever it is, to want to mine when his or a government is in power. And so you find it's alleged that some members who believe their government is in power could be behind some of these things. And so the president has issued a directive to say everyone that is caught in there will be punished, and so leave the forest reserve. Let's see how that is carried through.
Oh.
Let's see how it works there.
Well, great. All right, so cholera crisis in Agona West. So we saw that's a central region that spread, and it seems to be increasing. It started off late last year, and now it's looking like it's just spreading.
The new Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Professor Dr. Samuel Kava, my very good friend, has promised, and you see, this man is an action man, and he's going to bulldoze everything on. So he's going there. I understand there was a statement that was issued on their Facebook page where he's going to be meeting with the people, the chiefs, all the stakeholders, major stakeholders, to Georgia on how they can bring this to a halt. And so, knowing who he is,
you're rest assured
it will be done. Oh yes,
it has to. Because you don't want this.
If you have to be arrested for doing whatever it is, you will be arrested.
Okay, great.
Oh yes, oh yes. Oh,
nice.
Yes. And so that's by way of the news as far as cholera is concerned. Well, Mason shot dead at Adumanu. I hope I got that right. My ever did not feature prominently in Kumasi.
He did. Adumanu. He just said Adumanu in Kumasi. It's
but
like a
don't do that. It's a very sad news.
Well, yeah, you just watered it down with your tone. But Mason shot dead.
Yeah.
That's
there are a lot of things happening here in Ghana. We need to pay
terrible.
attention. Yes, the absence of war is not peace. It has to be clear.
Right.
Let's do some other stories.
Yeah, it's unpatriotic to refuse opportunity to serve a nation. So that's Professor Jampo on his appointment. He was saying that, it is an honor for him to be called to
again
serve.
these are responses to backlashes who say, we thought you were neutral, why have you been given an appointment?
It doesn't have to be political.
And Professor Prempe, who was with the CDD or is still with the CDD and now heads the Constitutional Review Committee, it's not a member of the NDC. Professor Karikari or Kakari, it's not the member of the NDC. These are critics of the NDC. So these are people who have gotten jobs to serve their nations, but also because it's coming from a point because this Professor Jampo has been on the case of the New Patriotic Party, and so you find their communicators rushing to town to paint him black, and so that's just basic.
But my point is, if you have the intellect, you have the job, you have the know-how.
He says he's still going to be bashing the government by all means. Kuko community in the northern region appeals for assistance amid severe water crisis. There we are.
Oh no.
There we are. Yes. So again, if we are not being short, if we are not dealing with something mining in the forest reserve, we're dealing with basic, quite a number of things. And we need to put this nation.
The North is very, very, very important to me, I don't know, I'm so passionate about it. Also because sometimes we might overlook these things, but what we don't appreciate is the fact that the North produces most of the things that we use here in the southern part.
Yes.
And so when we don't pay attention to them,
Yes.
I don't know what we hope to achieve.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, indeed. Well,
let's get on some international news now, shall we? Burkina Faso issues first AES passport amid regional charges. Koku, next or?
oh no, I
want
mean,
to talk about it.
I mean,
I know this is one of your favorite persons, and maybe because he's young, he's brought a lot of stuff to light.
No, but I made a statement the other day that I thought these arrangements were in the interim. You cannot begin to make these changes when you were saying you were willing to hand over to a democratically elected government. You held this because you just wanted to sanitize the system. So what are the three still doing? To an extent that we're getting these changes. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he's not doing well, but I'm saying that you sanitize the system with the promise
that you would leave it to now be democratically governed.
So these changes are you are further breaking Africa into pieces.
Well, then I think that we need to have a convo to see where his mind is at and the vision that he has for his country, even before he started off, with the whole coup thing.
People have said that is the ineptitudeness, and I use that word advisedly, of ECOWAS or other blocs who have shown over time that even when we are democratically elected, we don't serve the interest of the people. And that's why the people will call for some people like this and will not because now these people are justified. Look at the work he's done in 3 years.
Yes.
Who would now speak against him? So it's a dire situation though, actually. But well, let's see how it goes. Away from Africa, Trump confirms U.S. strikes on Islamic State in Somalia.
That's a touch on Africa.
Yes, quite a number of things happening in the United States of America, which might have effects on Africa.
Yes, a full shake-up, if you ask me.
So we will probably need to talk about it and how Africans and the individual member states would have to maneuver their way.
How is the deportation thing going, though?
I think it's been reduced. The 3,000 we hear, the other thing, 150 something.
I see. Hospitals overwhelmed with death tolls rises in Goma. I thought that the whole Israeli was it a thingy? There was a ceasefire, so people are being let out and all of that. Why are we having lots of death tolls?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's the last count was 700 people dead. 700 people dead. The situation is not even AIDS. I mean, the other day, I think UNHCR or something. I mean, they even humanitarian, stuff to get in. There's a challenge. 700. The death toll is rising.
So it's not because of maybe gunshots and all of that.
No, it is. And every other thing. People will get hungry, children cannot survive.
Yeah, that's
people
the
are
other
sick,
things I wanted us to look
people
at.
are sick, they need health care, they cannot be taken care of. That's
and the
on one
ones that
side.
would provide it are not allowed to come in.
Oh yeah, of course. Because already, you see, Africa, look at even Ghana, the beacon of democracy, and we have issues with our healthcare delivery. So it's not even 100%.
No, we have
so think about
drone healthcare.
Don't do that. Well, some other news. Paris protesters called for action on DRC violence. Quite a number of people also believe that in the hands of the international bodies and other countries are in this. People would always tell you that.
Can you read the French?
Le Congo restera et indivisible. I got it though.
But I mean, I'm the one who's supposed to mark it. Why did you have to say you got it? All right, Sudan market selling in Omdurman leaves dozens dead.
That's Sudan
Story
as
of
well.
many death tolls.
Sudan.
in Africa.
Yes, a lot of it. We need to show leadership. Alrighty, and so that's by way of the headlines. Later on, we're going to be getting into the issues, really, and most importantly, we pray that we'll get leadership. One of the things that we will also be talking about is to go into details into what exactly these things are. And as my guests join me, we'll do the news review segment. Well, let's now get ready for some celebration, birthday celebration, and let's celebrate our friends and family, shall we?
Yeah. It's your birthday. It's your day, one day out of 365. It's your day, one day out of 365. Happy birthday, ooh, to you. Happy birthday, yeah, to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, yeah. It's your birthday. It's your day, one day out of 365. It's your day, one day out of 365. Happy birthday, ooh, to you.
Happy birthday to all our friends and family who are celebrating their birthdays today. Make sure that you also drop yours on our socials. We'll be very glad indeed to celebrate these men and women indeed.
Yeah, right. So very shortly we'll start to delve into the issues of news review. Want to ask the right questions and actually expand on these topics, try to find out what exactly is happening, the way forward. And I know Kwaku is fired up for that. And then also on the show, we should be having some counselors today. It's the month of love, so you don't want to miss any of that. Get on our socials and do the needful. Let's go for a break, and then we'll have the news review.
I want to welcome you to Wake Up Africa Morning Show. If Africa has ever needed to wake up, it's now. I promise you that this Wake Up Africa Morning Show will impact your life. It will illuminate you. The Bible says that thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. You need this insight. You need the understanding required to make all the difference in all of our lives. I want you not just to tune in to the Wake Up Africa Morning Show, but I want you to be a sponsor. I want you to partner with us as we take this Wake Up Africa Morning Show, the inspiration it brings, the impact across all Africa, to homes, to individuals, impacting lives. Join us to make a difference. It is said and believed that in this life, what you do to change the life of others matters than what you acquire for yourself. It is believed that it's not what you have, what you possess that matters, but the difference you made in the life of others. I believe as you partner with Wake Up Africa Morning Show, you'll be join us to make a difference in the life of so many people out there. Partner with us and Every time we touch a life, you are blessed. Every time we impact a family, you'll be remembered for good. God bless you. Looking forward to partnering with you and tuning in to Wake Up Africa Morning Show.
TV.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depend on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
Africa 54, in partnership with Voice of America. Weekdays, 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Dominion TV.
Welcome to the news review segment. This is where we get to share with you, into details what is happening in the world of news. Those making headlines, we get to share with you from our perspective, from our point of view, what we believe could be done right, what our views are largely, and in very, very great ways that you would love to hear. Of course, joining us for the very first time, we're excited about that. Reverend Xavier Demoji is my guest, one of my guests. He is a clinical engineer, head of biomedical department at Lekma Hospital, and also the assistant pastor, I guess, at Action Chapel International at Teshi, and he joins us. It's good to have you.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be here.
Absolutely, we're grateful indeed. Also joining us via Zoom is the architect and the builder, and also a pastor with the Eagles Network International Ministries, Reverend Anaya Bafo-Boni, who'll be joining us. Oh, he's joined us. Hi, good morning. And it's a Monday morning. I hope all is well with you, Rev.
Praise of God, and I'm excited to be here this morning. I trust that all is well with you in the studios as well.
Absolutely, we're good. Thank you very much for joining us, men of God. Let's start off with one news. We all saw what happened, I think, Thursday in Parliament. Yes, in Parliament. The fracas, call it the violent acts. Quite a number of people have described it as very childish acts from men and women, or men mostly, who should know that. But there's been, after that, the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Bargain, has moved steps to not only suspend about 4 members of Parliament, also has, set up a committee to make sure that investigations are done. It's also informed the clerk, directed the clerk to report the case at the police station. And so this, according to people, they believe is in the right direction. But, of course, you would find quite a number of people talking about what they must do and must not do. The minority has issued a statement saying that not only is the action of the Right Honorable Speaker partisan, they feel that he's got no authority as far as the standing orders of Parliament is concerned. I want to start off with you, Reverend Demoji. The question to both of you is it the case that these men knew that they do not, or the Speaker does not have the authority to suspend them for which they want to get into such acts? First of all, let me take your thoughts on that, and before we come here.
Well, it's amazing how things turn up in these few weeks of vetting. I was really shocked to see the act of violence so evidently demonstrated in the glare of the public. You know, to my view, the step that the speaker has taken, I think it's in the right direction. Looking at men that we all believe are academicians, men that we look up to for inspiration in this country, just couldn't control themselves, turning up tables and showing all out of indiscipline. I think the action is very eminent. I think it's in the right direction because this is too early. It's just they were just voted into parliament this few months ago, and to start out with just vetting, we are seeing act of violence. We don't know what will happen in the future. So this will serve as a deterrent to others to be on the alert, whether the speaker have violated whatever it is. I think it's in the right direction to put some sort of discipline and order in parliament.
I see. Very, 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 very instructive. Reverend Bibi, the minority say, and it's led by Honorable Chairman Zabonsu, the minority itself. You've heard voices. The speaker has no authority to suspend them. The question is that why they would want to go out there and do what they do, because they know nobody can touch them?
Thank you once again, Koku, and my warm regards to our viewers across the nation and across the continent of Africa. Let me be quick to say this, that what happened in Parliament is very despicable, absolutely shameful, and I think that it must not be countenanced in any shape or form as a nation. I find it absolutely embarrassing. And can you imagine the next day BBC had actually reported that Ghanaian parliamentarians destroy furniture and fight amongst themselves in parliament? I don't think that it is the kind of image we want on the international and the global scene. And we should not watch these things happen. But we also don't have to behave like ostriches. We have seen our parliament go on this route a couple of times. I mean, if you watch the time where I think the immediate past parliament, the 8th parliament, where Madam Osler ended up going to sit on the lap of another MP because there was a struggle for who is on the majority side and minority. There's 137 hang parliament limbo and all the euphoria it brought, and then the election of Speaker Bagwin himself, where Honorable the Tema MP
Carlos Ahinkra
literally ate up the ballot papers, and all that. So I think, and then also when the military invaded our parliamentary house and all that, which was in a certain sense a coup d'etat against one arm of government, so we've seen our fair share of drama over the years, and I think that is not the first time some hullabaloo of this type has taken place in our parliament. I think that during the time of Joe Wise, I'm told that something similar happened on the NDC side, and Muntaka and the rest were involved, and it turned almost into fisticuffs. I think that Parliament is gaining an unfortunate notoriety for this behavior. And again, we know that it's stemming from the kind of indemnities that they enjoy. But beside the indemnities, they need to understand that they are serving as role models for loads and loads of people, and they must learn to comport themselves and behave properly and appropriately, because there is a reason why you are called honorable. It's just like a man of God. When you hold the title reverend, the reverend is not because you are revered, but it's that you hold God in such a high sense of reverence and esteem. You understand that it is attached to your name, that this is somebody who reveres God so much that we can see God's character and persona in you. And we hold you to that standard. When you look at 1 Timothy 3, the standards are extremely high. So to be called an honorable person, it's not something to be trifled with. And remember, the speaker is called right honorable. I mean, he's gone beyond just being honorable. Remember, a bishop is called right reverend. He's gone beyond just reverend to somebody who celebrates the eminence of Elohim. So all these things must be in congruence with the kind of character that a person exhibits. And I think that what happened was out of place. Now, to the legality of what the speaker did. Definitely, I mean, if you go into our books so far, the law is concerned, the standing orders are concerned. Yes, there may not be any legal basis for what the speaker did, and I think that they should test the law, prove it to see if there's any basis. The reason being that, you see, if this thing goes to court and the law is tested, at least it would give us an opportunity as the legislature to start to put in place measures beyond the walls of parliament to deal with some of these things in future. So I would really wish that somebody would test this, let it go to court, especially if it's a non-MP, somebody who is not in parliament, let it go to court. Let us look at the legality of it, and then subsequent to that legality, whether a law can be passed to deal with it. And I like the three-pronged approach the speaker has used. First and foremost, he has gone beyond his powers to suspend, which can be contested. Secondarily, he has referred the matter to the Privileges Committee, which is very important because we need to see how they treat themselves. They so very quickly call people before this committee to deal with them whenever they think they're in contempt of parliament. Now let us see how they can apply these things to themselves when they themselves are in contempt of their same parliament. How they handle this matter will show us whether we should take them serious, even when they summon us to those Privileges Committee. And then also he has also instituted an investigative committee within parliament itself to look into the matter, and those found culpable to be surcharged. That was my first concern when this issue happened, that the taxpayer must not pay even for the cable head to plug in any of those speakers. They must pay to the last dime. If I would have even wished that it is spread across all the 275 MPs, everybody must feel a pinch in their pocket, so that they tell their colleagues that don't go mess up because I will end up paying for it. Something punitive must be done. Enough of the braggadocious and untamed behavior in our parliament. It's becoming quite a shame, and I thank the speaker for not missing words. And lastly, I'm very, very happy that it's asked the clerk of parliament to actually ask the police to institute criminal investigation. Remember the young boys who went on the demonstration? They were locked up for weeks simply because they said they had destroyed public property. I don't see how a party's campaign poster even amounts to public property. However, they were hauled, they were embarrassed, they were put there on the breaking news. Everybody saw them. It included lawyers and professionals, and they were sent to the gutters. And I think that whatever is in parliament is public property. Those tables are public property. They were bought with taxpayers' money. The speakers, the microphones, all those things are public property. Beyond what happens in parliament, these people must be prosecuted and made to face the law, even if it is a non-custodial sentence. On community service, they should be given brooms to sweep around Kwame Nkrumah Circle. They should be given brooms to whip the forecourt of parliament, or giving some mowers. You see, there must be something done for them to know that they are not above the law. Other than that, then we have not dealt fairly with the people of Ghana. I found it so despicable, so appalling. I mean, here is an MP who is upset because he feels somebody calls him a child, and he's saying that move tables. No, I mean to wait, break the tables, destroy things. The same person who is upset that somebody calls him a child. It's unfortunate, and I think that it's at best disgusting, honestly.
Indeed, very, very well. I mean, you didn't mince words with those, actually, and you share the same sentiments with a lot of Ghanaians. You both have done justice to that. So let's quickly move on to some other news. And this coming by way of some news on education. The President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has appointed an 8-member committee to organize the National Education Forum, fulfilling his commitment to reform Ghana's education sector. The members of the committee, the chairman, former Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor George K.T. Odro, they have 2 weeks to submit their report. Some other members are Professor Goski Alabi, Professor Rosemary Bosu, Samuel Ewuku, PhD, and Professor Smile GC. The rest are Kofi Asari, Stephen Owusu, and Inusa Shiraz. Now, the planning committee's terms of reference: 1, develop a theme and sub-themes to guide the stakeholder engagement. 2, to identify key stakeholders in the education sector, including students, parents, teachers, pre-tertiary and tertiary, including the private sector, researchers, civil society organizations, development partners, religious bodies, political parties, Ghanaian educational researchers in the diaspora, chiefs, heads of educational institutions, Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, etc., to be invited as participants. 3, develop a stakeholder activity agenda with time allocation. That's example, thematic breakout sessions, plenaries, etc. 4, propose a venue and date for the forum. 5, set up a secretariat to document activities. 6, provide a budget for the National Education Forum. 7, develop a comprehensive report detailing the findings and recommendations of the forum. 8, draft a national education policy framework and propose an action plan for implementing recommendations within 3 weeks after the forum. And 9, consider any other issue relevant to the organization of the forum, and signed by the acting spokesperson to the president, Felix Kwachi, who is a member of parliament. Talk to me about it.
Well, education is one of the most important things in this nation building. And over the years, we've seen a drift in our educational system. Anytime there is a political change, you see there's a change in how education is run. For our president to come out with such a policy, I think it's in the right direction. You know, it's not just about political propaganda or whatever it is, but him coming out with a committee to implement such agenda, I think it's in the right direction. Because one, the stakeholders that have been called, over the years, we've not seen all these people involved in making constructive ideas or bringing out the ideas to how the education system of this nation should be run. So with all these people involved in giving out their opinion on how our educational system should run, I think it's the best. It should not just be a policy. I'm happy with the last part of the implementation. There should be an implementation of it. It should be implemented, and it should be a national forum so that it doesn't matter which political party comes into power or not. We have an education system that is running effectively. To me, this thing has delayed, and for all these people coming on board to assist and give out their views on how our education system should run, it's in the right direction, and I think it will really help the country as a whole.
I see. They are supposed to present to the public or the country recommendations within 3 weeks after the forum. Time is tight, though, and it's a big job as well, Reverend Bibi.
Well, it depends on how you're looking at it. You see, I personally do not think that the timelines are overly tight.
Okay.
And for this is a very clear indication the kind of precedent we have. I mean, if you are looking very closely, you will see that John Mahama Part 2 is very distinctly different from John Mahama Part 1. He seemed very, as the trending were demure and laid back in his first term. Yeah. But you can see a man on the move this time around. He has a very no-nonsense type of posture. You can see that the agenda to leave a legacy is literally driving him. If you look at his speeches at the Africa Prosperity Summit and all these things, you can see that he's a completely different person. And I see him doing a lot of extempore statements, even more than trying to read drafted speeches. I'm even getting tempted to think that most of his speeches are even being written by himself, because you could feel a heart in it. And you see that same heart running in this particular letter that is communicating there. Koki, you don't need rocket science to see what is wrong with our educational system. Something is fundamentally wrong. You understand? On Sunday, when I was preaching, I made a profound statement that our country has so many professors, PhDs, but we don't seem to be making a headway. It is telling us that there is a clear disconnect between academia and practical work. And I think that is where our educational system should start looking at. Those who are purely academics, we should be able to create an educational system that helps them to have a very clear path on that academic ladder and to go in that direction. But those who want to enter into professional practice and fields, we must start to tailor our courses such that entrepreneurship is a central part of whatever they are learning. I don't see why an architect, for example, by my training, whose ultimate aim is to make money from his profession, does not have any single course throughout the 6 years that speaks about management, that speaks about finances, that speaks about real estate financing. I mean, absolutely nothing. We just learn to draw lines and draw lines. Even when we have 1 full year of study in the postgraduate, which is called office practice, we practice in an office as if all we do is to draw and not think about how to win clientele, how to retain clientele, how to turn our design ideas into business plans. I mean, simple drafting of business plans. These sort of things must be central to our educational system. And I'm talking about coming from preschool, when we lower primary actually. From upper primary, anybody from class 4, there must be an essential part of our teaching that helps a person to think about money. The end product of all we are doing is that we want to create jobs and create money. EGA is the end game. We are not just trying to cram. Look, my children, one of the things my children always keep asking me when they bring this math formulas home, my son is doing elective math, and he will ask me, all this differentiation and sets we are doing, how will it translate into money? Because that's how I'm bringing them up. And I start to tell them, these are things that the actual scientists use in predicting and forecasting events. These are the calculations and things. These are the things. So wow, suddenly the boy is doing well. He got a straight A in it because he sees that this thing, if I push hard, it will turn into some good dollars in my account going forward. Where is the motivation? All we do is to give somebody a book written in 1976 at Picture and Prize Giving Day. That actually, there's your award for getting A in math, and then it ends there. Kokuyu and I will testify. The writer sports in our school back in the day are some of the poorest when we go to old students meetings.
Yeah.
They are not doing well because the school is connected from the real world, because we have created an educational system that rewards not making mistakes. It rewards getting 100 over 100. Yet all the world changes have changed the world because their mistakes led them to discoveries of new things, which new things generated new money and has made them wealthy, like Elon Musk, like DeepSeek. You understand? You'd be surprised the DeepSeek guy may not even be an above average student in his schooling days, but his ability to think outside the box, critical thinking, you understand, then create another stream also that empowers those that are not academically inclined. We must take vocational education seriously. China is ahead, and Germany got ahead in the Industrial Revolution because they took their polytechnic seriously. I was heartbroken when one particular government came and decided that in their attempt to have more universities, they whitewashed and painted all our polytechnic to universities. It's the biggest mistake. Germany has never changed their polytechnics. In fact, their brightest guys go to the polytechnics because that is where the real inventions and things that are created are done. So the professors who go to normal universities, they develop the theories, they develop the concepts, and these guys go into the real building of and workable solutions with these theories into cars, into machines, into blenders, all these things, and they feed industry. And then the marketing guys have job to do to sell these things. Then money feeds back into the system. So we need to look at these things practically. Where does Ghana have competitive advantage? We have a lot of young people go on TikTok. They are constantly talking about making money online. Can we look at cyber security? Can we look at content creation? Can we look at video editing as big time courses that we are doing with degrees, hands-on training? The people are not writing exams. They are rather doing a lot of practical stuff that are being sent to industry and being turned into money. Some people's ideas by second semester, first year, should be able to win them money enough from industry to pay their fees and pay the fees of other students. That is what we are talking about. We must be dynamic. I'm happy to see so many professors on it, but I hope that they are not these academically inclined professors. And I'm so happy, especially about Professor Goski Alabi, the wife of Professor Joshua Alabi. Listen, this pair turned UPSA into what it is today. They turned the whole school upside down, brought in new courses, new lectures, great innovation. Listen, none of us, and let's be honest, none of us respected UPSA growing up. We just saw it as a place where people couldn't get uni, go and do some professional courses and write some online courses with UK schools, and then they are just there at account class. But look at UPSA today. You can't easily enter because somebody decided to put on their thinking cap and turn it around. I always put Joshua Alabi and his wife Goski in the same class I put Professor Stephen Ade on how they turned GIMPA around. Sure. And made GIMPA a central game player within the tertiary education space. And I pray that this woman will bring her A game on, move the whole team, and let's have something that will put Ghana on a competitive edge. Look, I have a young girl who has gotten first year admission in one of the universities I don't want to mention. And she told me that among her courses, she's reading Chinese. I'm asking myself, I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but what competitive advantage does it give this particular young lady? You understand? I have had colleagues that actually one guy he was giving Twi and then Arabic. You understand? She Arabic and I think Russian. And I'm asking myself that, I mean, what are we trying to do? I feel we keep some of these faculties because we want to keep some lecturers in employment. And that let's go into the field and study what has been the long-term impact of these courses being offered in our educational system on our national development and the money it contributes to our GDP. If we don't find any real direct connection, let's kick it out. Like what Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa said, that the consulates, the diplomats that are being sent as ambassadors are going to be given KPIs. You can't just sit there and be drinking tea and drinking wine at meetings. If you are not bringing investment, you are not creating something that is reflecting on the economy of Ghana, you'll be shuffled and brought back home. We must start to be pragmatic in the same way. People at senior high level must think sharply. Look, some of these watches we wear are projects from students in Taiwan and in schools in China. That is how innovative people are. After all these years, we are still pounding fufu and mixing it with sweat. Why can't we be innovative? Now, look at these pastor boys, the work they are doing cleaning our city. Why can't we create equipment that are localized and helps us? I saw a young boy who has created a small floating machine that goes onto the waters. He has a way of sucking floating materials like rubber, plastic container. Somebody in JHS too who can hardly put 2 or 3 sentences together. Look at this young inventor in Zimbabwe who is harnessing radio waves and creating energy that drives cars, and that car can plug a home and put the energy on, and once it is charged and that energy is harnessed, the car can run 20 years non-stop on that energy. Manangwagwa, the president has noticed him. He went into the US to, I think, Silicon Valley. He and his partner in 2017, they tried poisoning them. The partner died, he survived. And they said they won't patent his thing because it defies the laws of physics. We must defy the laws of physics. Africa has it. Africa has what it takes. The civilizations of this world started right here. We went to colonize the Spanish people, the Moors, in the 1700s, and we taught them how to bath, created soap, sanitary systems, all those things. We have done it. We can do it again. Let's look within. The solutions are here. Let's stop all these book equations. We have done it. Where has it brought us, Koku? Where has it brought us? We have some of the brilliant economists here who can postulate all the theories. Look at our debt to GDP ratio. We look like a group of clowns. Super qualified can't solve a problem. We must move from theory and find the link into the practical world and convert that knowledge into tangibles that can affect Ghana for the better. I'm a very passionate Pan-Africanist on this issue, so please pardon me.
No, it's
very,
fine.
very, very passionate.
The young people would call it heat. Like they call it heat. I say heat.
Yeah, I like the heat.
Thank you very much, and I love the fire as well. Let's keep it burning. And I know quite a number of people are watching. I've not given up on my continent yet. Africa will rise again, and it's rising. And so
wake up, Africa.
Absolutely.
The program is Wake Up Africa.
Yes.
We got to wake up.
Yes, we have to wake up indeed. And then goes back to the issues of we having the knowledge of what climate change is doing to the environment, what it has done to countries, and what we know it would do, especially with our communities that are along the water bodies. Sad news coming in, tidal waves ravaging Salakope, Agaveji, as residents call for some very urgent intervention. And so residents of Salakope, Agaveji, and its adjoining coastal communities in the Ketu South municipality of the Volta region are reeling from the devastating impact of tidal waves that have swept not only their towns, but every other thing that they have, leaving behind just a trail of destruction. You can tell some houses were submerged, livelihoods disrupted, and of course, properties also lost in there. And there you have it on the screen. For decades, communities along this coastal stretch have continually faced some of these recurring threats to tidal waves and sea erosion. But again, it's worsening day by day because of the climate change. We all know what must be done. Sea defense, and also, if you like, evacuating people from that place, giving them other places to stay. But I don't know whether you know about these conditions. Do you live around there? Do you come from around there?
Yeah, I'm from Keta.
Okay.
So I'm very much aware of the issues that happen over there.
Okay.
It's very sad. It's an issue that has taken place over the years. I think for 2 weeks ago I was in Keji, and it's a town that was really plagued with issues like this, and most of the inhabitants were dislodged, and the country have to come with an intervention. It's an issue that has been happening over the years, and it's unfortunate that there has not been a holistic approach to the way things are being done, and most of these people find themselves plagues in one way or the other. Anytime there is a tidal wave and the sea is raging, they have to find ways of accommodating themselves. They lose their properties and a lot of things. Looking at the issue at Salakope and its environment, it is an issue of the first phase of the Blekusu Sea Defense Project. The first stage has been done, and they are waiting for the second stage to complete. I think this thing should be expedited in due time, because if you look at it, it is not just a community. We have mothers, we have fathers, we have children, we have schools, and all people are potentials for nation building. It will amaze you that some of these people that live there do a lot of mighty things that we have no knowledge about. And if we ignore some of their grievances and challenges that they are going through, it will cause a national problem. To me, the government is in the right direction, is doing a lot. I think they should just take it up, do all their best to make sure that the second phase of the project take place in immediate time, so that we will not look at the story, it look like the road is being eroded. That is going to block transportation between Aflau and its environment. And we shouldn't wait for such an issue to escalate before we start sending NADMO and other release items. I think the actions now, according to the news, is from now to the 4th. And I don't know what NADMO and other things are doing, but looking at what has been destroyed so far, it looks simple, but it's very serious. Because some of these people, this is their livelihoods of dependency. So I think the government should come in very early to survey some of these issues. I see. It will help all of us.
For those, there was this day I was speaking to a friend of mine who says, well, Keta, when you go to some of these environments, they look very empty, as though nobody's in the town, and it's quiet. The reason is that you would always find them doing business between Keta, Deng, and Aflau into Togo. So they go, they ply their trade. Some of them live on, so they pick, once they wake up in the morning from Keta, it's straight into Togo to sell. It's when they come back in the evening that you can see them and all of that. Yet now there are fears that that particular road network between Keta, Haveji, Deng, and Aflau might be cleared off. And there's talk of the phase 2 of the Blekusu Sea Defense, and also mention of the West Africa Coastal Areas Management Program, that they need to come to play and all of that. But walk me through. Do you also have knowledge in about some 3 minutes? Let's hear Reverend Bibi.
Koko, I must say my heart goes out to the residents along the coastal line on the Keta stretch. It's painful, especially in these times of economic difficulties. If you have to suffer all these losses, it becomes quite painful. My only challenge in the midst of all this is our failure as a nation to be very consistent when it comes to solving some of these our problems. We take too many long breaks in between projects because, right from the time of the Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, the issue of Keta Sea Defense War came up. It has protracted through President Fufua's time, gone through the time of those Mahama Phase 1, it's gone through 8 years of the past administration. I don't even know if anything was done in the last 8 years. And it has a cumulative effect. The losses continue to increase. The loss of life also continues. The loss of livelihood increases. Loss of life increases, and then also the other very painful part is that the cost of the project continues to balloon into the atmosphere. I don't know how the government will find the resources. Let us solve this problem ASAP. At the African Prosperity Summit, one of the things China told the rest of Africa is that to prosper, the first thing to do is build roads. Build roads. We need to be properly interconnected for trade to work. If the haulage business and business across African nations will work, free movement of goods and services, our roads must work, Let's save that road. Let's save the people of Keta. Listen, as for climate change, it is here to stay. It has come to meet us. Years ago, I was doing a project in Ada. I was shocked. Ada teacher training college over there. I was surprised when the school took me to go and see the original shoreline. I mean, where it was. And then now where we were building the school block was already covered with beach sand. In fact, I think twice I'll pick up got stuck. It took some boys who were experienced about how the sand works to help us out. We engaged all the 4 gears, whatever you could think about. It wasn't when they showed us this, that there's some way, or they've navigated a lot of 4-wheelers to come out of the place. I was shocked the extent to which the beach sand has come in, and they said some of the waters can come as far. I think 2 years on when we paid a visit, we could see part of the building being aggressively eaten away by the salt from the sea. So these are realities on the ground. Let us help our people. I realize that African governance is like that. The further away you live from the palace, when you look at our Nigerian films, the further away you are from the palace, the further you are from development. And you see it. Any place that is further away from Jubilee House has poorer roads. When you turn on the right of Jubilee House, you have the Christ the King Third Road. You get to 37, you do a left Obasanjo Trade Fair Road. But as you are coming towards Adenta, you turn and it's a dead road. You are going towards Udowa, you turn. So many. The farther you are away from the palace, the greater your doom and your plight is. And I think we have to change that mindset. Keta deserves the best. Some of Ghana's greatest minds have come from this place, and we shouldn't forget them. We shouldn't neglect them. My heart really goes out to them. It hurts me that we have to come to this annual ritual. This is a yearly thing. Yes. I don't think the first time we are here. It's an annual thing. Yes. The water spillage, Bagre Dam. Let's be proactive and let's help our people. It doesn't take too much to please our rural folk. They just want to get by, and let's facilitate it and don't let us add salt to injury.
Absolutely. A big thanks to both of you for coming through. We're grateful indeed. Reverend Nanaya Bafo-Boni is an architect and a builder, and so he's also the pastor for Eagles Network International Ministries, coming through for us. And for the first time as well, joining us on set, Reverend Xavier Demoji is a clinical engineer, head of biomedical department at Lekma Hospital, of course, an assistant pastor also with the Action Chapel International, Teshi. We're grateful. Thank you very much. And of course, thank you very much as well, Reverend Nanaya. Well, we'll take a break at this point. When we come back, remember there's still tech and trends. We also have the lab doctors joining us, and also Black Our Story Month or Black History Month is going to be commemorated. We're beginning it today. Stay with us.
So I love you, my Jesus. So love you, my Lord. Darling, 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 Jesus, darling, Jesus. Oh, my darling Jesus, you are wonderful, Lord. I love you so much, darling Jesus. Oh, my darling Jesus, you are wonderful, darling Jesus. My darling Jesus. Oh, my darling Jesus, you are wonderful, Lord. I love you so. So I love you, my Jesus. So love you, my Lord. Darling, 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 Jesus, darling, Jesus. Oh, sun uneasy. Yeah, yeah. Me Japanese one run again. I love you so, much, my Jesus.
Okay, nice tune right there, Darling Jesus. Yep, it's the month of love, and so these words should be flying, darling and sweetheart and all of that. But doing the love of God, have some agape, okay? Alrighty. Now let's get on with tech and trends. And if you know what time it is, it's TT time with Sia Haney. Yeah, right. Okay. Good morning, Sia Haney.
Good morning, Biadala.
Yeah.
Hello, lovely Biadala.
Is that your romantic self? Please, I resign. Let's try again next time. Yeah, how you doing? How's your weekend?
Good. My weekend was awesome.
Yeah. Well, mine was really busy. Yeah, pretty busy. But I had fun yesterday. So much fun. Yeah, in church. Okay. So, what's up for tech and chats? Yep. Okay. So, CID is going to be telling us what's up for tech and trend. But let me tell you what happened to me yesterday in church. Okay, so yesterday in church, we had cultural day. Okay, so people dressed like Asante Hima or Asante Hini, you know, like the front to mine. I was looking like a Ghana girl, you know, like with the white cloth and all the beady stuff. I took a few pictures because I realized that Charlie, that handful people they suffer about. Like, how do you ever get to wee wow whoa? I don't even know how that works, but it's so beautiful how we appreciate culture even in our church settings. So that's how my weekend went, and my yesterday was just amazing. I can't wait to do it again and again and again and again. But I mean, it's still the month of February. Now, how about we try this? In this month of February, how about you drop a love message for somebody on our socials, right? Like you just get there, type a message, and then put your name. They're like, oh, from me to Sia Hene, I love you, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can just type all of that. And be sure to read them. I'll be glad to read those. Sia Hene,
yes.
I know you have love messages for me, but you just do the tech and trend and let's go.
So unfortunate. I wanted to say some nice things, but nothing is coming.
Nice.
Okay, hey guys, good morning Africa. This is the Trends and Tech segment with me, your girl, C. Ahinen. Over the weekend, we had a wonderful weekend. A lot of things were going on, Biadala, and I'm so excited to be sharing them with you. So first off, you know, our own Pastor Lawrence or yours, Favor. The song Favor. It surrounds me like a shield. I mean, we did it this week. Yeah, so that song was the most streamed song on Spotify for the month of January. It's got 2.9 million streams. Can you imagine?
It's expected.
Oh God, people are working. If the video is ready, I just want us to look at it. Favor by Pastor Lawrence Oyo. I'm so excited about it.
I need to cover me from now until the day I see my King. Lift your voice and shout favor. It surrounds me like a shield. It will cover me from now until the day I see my King. Shout it louder, favor.
Yes, that was Favor by Pastor Lawrence Oyo. Congratulations, guys. If you've not heard this, please, you've heard it now. Go out and go and stream it. I mean, I just like his laid back kind of the way he sings, you know. He doesn't go aggressive with other songs. He just sings it nicely. It's a wonder that he's able to trend. That's nice. Moving on from music to ministry. So over the weekend, award-winning gospel artist Dana Hamilton was all over Impact, and she visited the Accra Girls Senior High School as part of her outreach program, and it was just lovely to watch how the students accepted her, the way they enjoyed it. Let's take a look at this video.
Positive confessions of God. I am human, born of a woman. I have my flaws.
With a standing ovation, I will invite Dinah Hamilton.
I have my flaws.
I'm believing God to be able to reach 4 different kinds of people tonight.
I have my imperfections, insecurities, things that get me down. Those are some flaws, just to mention a few. I have my imperfections, insecurities, things that get me down. Those are some flaws.
I really love how the students just accepted her. They met her with expectations, with excitement, Biadela. It just took me back to my SHS days. I can't remember right now. I can't imagine that I am out of school. Oh my God, I wish I was there. I feel so old. But it's so nice. And if you are out there, remember, our work experience, Accra edition is on the 16th February 2025, 16th February. So let's remember our work experience. That was a nice one, Dinah Hamilton. Moving on from Dinah Hamilton, we have PSA Esther, a gospel artist from Ghana. So she with her team under the auspices of PSA Aged Foundation went to Insuta Atonsu. Biadela, did I mention it right? Atonsu, okay. In the Ashanti region, that's her hometown actually. And she decided to bless the widows and the aged there. So she donated some foodstuffs and then also organized a free health screening for them. Let's take a look at this.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that was PSCS Esther's Foundation. God bless you. We can see the gospel at work. God bless you so much. We pray for more provisions for you. Also, over the weekend, there was a video of a little girl that was trained and she was braiding hair. And her seriousness, according to what they were saying, they said her name is Lodina. And they said even that morning, a client came late and she just spoke her mind, you know, she told the person that you can't come here late like that. And just look at her, she's so cute. And let's look at the video. She's so cute. Ah, yes, that is her, Lodina. She's really doing a fantastic job. Everybody is saying that their parents will be proud of her right now. I mean, if I was the one doing it, like my mother would be so excited. I know.
They would have taken you to Guinness World.
I know. So,
yeah, right.
This is a Monday morning. I just want to tell everyone out there that sometimes we tend to disregard the little things that we can do. You see, maybe you can just sing small, or like Biadela, you can talk. And you didn't know, you just don't take it. You don't take it lightly. Just search within you. There's something that comes to you without stress. Maybe that's what God wants you to do. And then just do it. Tap into it and shine. Amen.
Amen.
Moving on to the last story, and this one is so dear to my heart. So, gospel filmmaker, Nigerian gospel filmmaker, producer, director, Damilola Bamiloye of Mount Zion Movies. So over the weekend, he posted a video and pictures of his wife. You know,
beautiful.
They have a new addition, and this happens to be a bouncing baby boy. I'm so excited about it. So they have 2 girls already, and this is the 3rd one, which is a boy. So congratulations to you. I even remember the lady from Demi. Oh, the way I like that movie. And if you don't know the guy, he did Abattoir. Please, if you've not watched it, go and check it out. Abattoir is so nice. I mean, so nice. Yeah, so that is how we wrap up for today's Trends and Tech segment. It's been a wonderful weekend, and we are looking to God for a super fabulous, favorable week ahead of us. So please, if you've not liked any of our posts, if you've not commented, just head over to our social media handles at My Dominion TV. Like, follow, share, do whatever you have to do. If you have any birthday wishes as well, you can send it to us. And as we are in the month of February, you know, the love messages, you can send them as well. We'll be reading it for you, and I can be picking some small ones so that I can be using it on Biadela small.
Hey.
And Coco too, you know. So this is what I have for you on the trends and tech segment. This is your girl, C Ahine. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more in store for you on Dominion TV's Wake Up Africa. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Most definitely. You have to love C Ahine. Yeah, right? Okay. So like she said, drop your love messages, would you? And we'll be glad to read them. Maybe she can do copy and paste it. But thank you so much, C Ahine. Well, very shortly, we're going to be having a conversation with some counselors. It's not for people who are married, it's alone, but it's for people who are single, hoping to marry. Now, what people wait for is 2 minutes to marriage, and then they start to look for counselors. Here on Dominion TV's Wake Up Africa, we're going to give you the chance to meet counselors so you can make the right decisions even before you get into the union of marriage. We're going to be having Love Doctors session. You don't want to miss it. Let's go for a short music break, and then when we get back, the love conversation will kickstart.
When I found you, I found somebody who cares. When I found you, found my most intimate prayer. When I found you, I found what every heart dreams of. When I found you, I found love. When I found you, I found the rest of my life. When I found you, I told all others goodbye. When I found you, I saw my fears fly.
I wanted to make it a surprise.
Why?
You know, I knew the dramatic appearance would excite everyone.
I've
been looking for you for a very long time.
Why are you so intimidating?
But you just complain that I'm fat.
But you are fat.
Here is my son.
Give me what I want and I will set you free.
Stop! Jesus has set me free.
Yes, Lord.
Anita.
I wanted to make it a surprise.
Why?
You know, I knew the dramatic appearance would excite everyone.
I've been looking for you for a very long time.
Why are you so intimidating?
But you just complain that I'm fat.
But you are fat.
Here is my son.
Give me what I want and I will set you free.
Stop! Jesus has set me free.
Yes, Lord.
On the top.
Have you ever questioned God's love because of your storm? You don't rebuke a storm. You rebuke a spirit. When God has something for you, the enemy wants to block your pathway into the destiny that God has for you. And the storms that you're fighting are not your fault or your issue. It's Satan's fear that you're coming after him and
Every morning begins with you, your routine, your goals, your journey. Get ready for the day with us by your side. This is Wake Up Africa, your inspirational morning ride. We bring you the energy you need, the insight, and the motivation to kickstart your day. Wake Up Africa is here to connect you to the latest news, your front row seat to all the sports action. Get moving with us for a healthier you. Wake Up Africa gives you daily forecast, keeping you prepared for whatever comes your way. Join.
I wanted to make it a surprise.
Why?
I knew the dramatic appearance would excite everyone.
I've been looking for you for a very long time.
Of 1 to 10, I don't know how I felt with lavish, but we're going to have to talk about it anyway. Welcome to the month of love. Welcome to us doing it the right way, not only in the presence of men and from the knowledge of men, but what God instituted it to be. And that's why I'm excited to be here with one lady that, as for her, I know for a fact she knows her ways around the issues of love. Biadela is here with me as well. Let's talk about love today. We're starting off on a very high note, and we've brought some very great individuals who are going to be talking about, looking at their age, you can tell how many years. I don't want to guess, but I'll guess later on. Counselor Dr. Yao Tete, and of course, Pastor Mrs. Cecilia Efua Tete are our guests today, and we're excited about it, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So we'll have both of you. Let me guess, and so we're going to take a good guess of how old they are in marriage, right? I say, Holy Spirit, help me. I say 22.
And you say?
25.
25. Okay.
Who's closer?
None of you.
Okay, 30.
We don't want to.
You are closer.
30 is close. The Lord told me to say 30.
So how old are you in marriage?
March next month will be 34 years.
Wow. Then the question, what have you been doing?
I know.
We're going to, unpack all of these and more, but where did you meet her first, though? Where did I meet her? Yes, where did you see her?
Okay, we both grew up in a community close to Achimota.
Okay.
And it happened that I was staying at University of Ghana with my father, and she was at Dodi Papas in the Volta region.
Okay.
Then she completed school, teacher training, and she came down. I also completed sixth form, and I left my father. I decided not to stay with him again, so I also came to
big boy.
Big boy, yeah. So I also came to this community in Achimota, and her house is just beside my house. Okay. So we share a wall.
Okay.
And that is how I started.
So you are one of those young men who do
Yeah, very close to one.
Okay. I see.
Very interesting. Wow.
So 34 years, and the point for me is a lot of young people will be asking, what I mean, it's a difficult thing. People who have started 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even 10 years will tell you it's been tough. But from the day you met him and started talking about issues of life and how you can settle down till now, what would, in your account, be as what has kept this marriage going?
I believe the underlining pin is commitment. Marriage takes a lot. It's not taken on a silver platter when people begin to say 50 years anniversary, 30 and co. It entails a lot. But when we went in, we went with Christ. Knowing very well that we are accountable to the Lord as our groom. So we must live the life in such a way that at the end of it all, the Lord will applaud us. So with the commitment, we all started years back as a young lady teacher, and he as his former. And we became friends and decided to go into marriage. I had a mentality that when it's a journey of no return, and I've accepted that in my spirit, whatever the condition might be with Christ, with me or with us, we'll sail through. So with commitments in diverse ways, loving each other, supporting each other, caring for each other, and even growing in our professions. Like I was saying, I was a young lady teacher, but along the line, I became a graduate teacher.
Okay.
As of now, I'm a headmistress in one of the basic schools.
Okay.
And he's a PhD holder.
Oh, I see.
And he's still pursuing.
Oh, yours more?
Yes, maybe another PhD in counseling. Yes.
I see. But so we're going to get into their lives pretty much. You also have the opportunity to speak to them because we're going to be opening the phone lines for you to also ask questions and also to say hi to them. But Charlie,
I'm just, soaking in.
The 34, no?
The 34.
Right, 34%.
I'm at 5 now.
34%.
It's amazing how we see the older folks go through certain challenges or maybe certain parts of their lives with ease and with length of days. And for the younger people, it comes off like it's a battle. Mm-hmm. Now people feel like, okay, marriage is such a big thing. I don't even want to marry. I just want to have a child, take care of my child, that kind of thing. I don't want to go into this whole marriage thing. I don't want to ask the challenges you've overcome. Papa would always say, what have you survived? Mm-hmm. I don't want to ask, because I don't want you to be teary and all of that. But today, really, I really would want us to give something to people who are even single and planning to get into marriage. What are some of the personal values that even a single person should have before they start to have this whole marriage conversations? I'm going to take it out on Doc first. With PhD. Yeah, holder.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And what I will say is that the values we hold as individuals really determine what we become. And as a way of definition, I would say that values are the principles that underpin what we do. So if you have very good values, the propensity that you will do well is there. If your values are not right, you're going to put yourself in a lot of problems. And talking about values, we have biblical values and traditional values. We also have humanistic values. I believe that everybody will subscribe to one of these values. Being Christians, we subscribe to biblical values. So if you want to succeed in your marriage, your value system must be built totally based on the Bible. And when I say biblical, I'm also talking about properly interpreted scripture. Because anybody can get up and pick any scripture and build anything around it. And that doesn't make for success in the way we're talking about. So it should be properly interpreted scripture, Holy Ghost inspired interpretation, so that we build our values around it. When we build our values on biblical principles, we will succeed. Talking about the fact that a lot of people, maybe the older folks, have been able to navigate the difficulties and have gotten to 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, that kind of thing. And then probably the younger folks are having difficulties. I think it's also based on the values. Okay, one of the values we hold is that Bible says, I hate divorce. And if the Bible hates divorce, then whatever the two of us will do to ensure that we don't end up in divorce, we'll have to do it. Okay? Yeah. I know as a counselor, I know that there are a lot of challenges that is resulting in divorces today. That is not what I'm talking about. But the real issue is that the Bible talks about the fact that God hates divorce. And if your value system is built on Bible, then the issue of divorce mentality is out of your mind. So you don't really even think about it. You think about how to solve or navigate the difficulties that come into the marriage. Let me add this to it, that of course, people who have humanistic values, they are the center of themselves. Everything is they themselves are in the center. So God is out of it, and they don't care whatever they do. But there is another issue there that has been a problem in a lot of marriages today. And that is, a lot of people carry traditional values into marriage. Okay. They are Christians, they are in the church, but they have traditional values. Okay.
What are some of
those yes.
values?
Okay, so when we talk about traditional values, maybe I'll mention about
some examples.
Three, and yeah. Number one, in our traditional setup, a marriage is not complete without children.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go into the marriage and there is delayed childbirth or anything of that sort, it's enough grounds for the man to go behind the woman or the woman to go behind the man. Okay, so that is one big problem.
Okay.
So you see people in the church who are Christians, but they live by the traditional values. So when they're having difficulty, instead of sorting it out, they prefer to go behind and create more problems. And you see, this paternity fraud that we talk about is as a result of these traditional values that marriage is not complete without a child. Okay? So either the woman who thinks that she doesn't have a problem would have to prove herself. So she goes behind the man. So paternity fraud comes in.
Okay.
That is one. Then another big problem we see is that in the traditional setup, the man is the king, the woman and the female children are servants. Okay?
King and servants.
Yeah, king and servant.
We're going to be exploring some of these themes very shortly, because I want us to also expand it so that people, because the childbirth thing is a big, big, big issue.
Yeah.
So we'll come to that. King and servants. What does the Bible say about the man being the head of the home, and how does it marry with the kingship and the servanthood of the traditional setup? Before I come to Mrs.
What does the head do?
The rule?
The role. The head is supposed to lead.
Okay.
Okay? And leadership does not make one a king and the other a servant.
Okay.
Leadership is living an exemplary life to draw the other people along. So once the system makes it like, oh, the man is at a pedestal where he becomes the king, and the woman and the female children become servants, it becomes difficult for proper cohesion in the family, because kingship and servanthood are totally opposite things. One has to save, and serve at all costs. All costs. That is what we see in a lot of the traditional systems we grew up in. Okay?
I see. Very, very instructive. I just want to ask a personal, very personal thing. I mean, largely we get into marriage with the experiences that we came from home, which is very different from the woman or the man, depending on where you are. So, for instance, just as he said, Doc said, your traditional setup could also come from your home. Some people come from places where they've not seen a father and a mother before. And so some of these things are very new. You walk in there. Was there anything that was a shock to you when you met Doc and like, oh, okay, he has to adjust with the issue of values, and then over time you had to work around it as a couple?
Thank you. Unfortunately,
no. Unfortunately, no.
I'm drawing my point. Unfortunately, I didn't grow much with two parents. There was separation. So initially, it was like I became the mother of the house. And as a young girl, in those days, this self-contained issue wasn't common. The usual compound house or cargo house.
Okay. It's called cargo house too.
Cargo house, yes.
Okay, this is the first time.
Cargo house carries a lot of people.
You know, there were many families in the same compound.
Right.
So I became so sober and grew with these women.
Okay.
Anytime they are in the kitchen doing their things, I intentionally go there to help you fan your fire. And then I watch how you go about your things.
Okay.
So actually, I didn't stay close with both parents to experience real marriage life with them. The only side I saw was when my father started, should I say, misbehaving, going out. And children, you have no say, and along the line, my mother had to leave. But I told you early on, I had my mentality of coming in. So I adjusted myself that way before entering. Since I want the man to do me well, it will be beautiful to make him also progress in life. So I came with that. So we started managing, navigating, and gradually we've gotten to.
So there was nothing that was shock to you?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Right.
I see it as part of life.
Right. How about
and
you?
Since we are from different backgrounds, there should be an adjustment.
Yes. No, I just wanted to pick it from that POV. Doc, was there anything that shocked you?
No, we've graciously, we have never had any serious issues. No serious issues.
Okay. So maybe I just want to
the ones that come to your desk.
I'm saying this from experience where growing up as a child, there's no case of we eating together on a table. So everybody has a small table and a stool with your cup, your spoon, your plate. You go, they serve, and then you eat on your table. You can eat together, but it's on your table at your own time and all of that. And then the first experience was that the food was served and I was about to eat, and then she dragged the table closer and I asked, what are you doing here? And I was blunt. I like, no, I don't do this. So that's what I wanted to say, because I was coming from a background where I eat alone. And I thought that, that was what was good. Was there any?
We came from the background where the food is put at the table with communal
No. with a lion like me in the house, you can't communally eat.
It becomes like the survival of the fittest.
That's
what I'm talking
we
about.
got married. He likes meat and fish so much. And you know, the way we were, now he doesn't eat meat, he eats fish. The way we were brought up, we know that either the food goes with the fish, or you finish eating
before you
and the fish is shared on a tray, and you pick according to age. So the youngest does the sharing and the eldest pick. So when we got married, I realized that when I serve food, he eats the meat or the fish first. Before coming to the food. Then I look at him and I said, initially I wasn't too comfortable. Because it's like when he's done with the fish, I can't eat the food because mine should
blend with that.
Exactly. So I said, no. If this is how he is, then I must adjust. So when we set table, we eat the fish first.
All of us?
The two of us. Then we continue. Or we share. I'll keep mine there.
You can continue with what you want to do.
I can't imagine that.
I came from a home where there was a lot of meat.
I know.
Fry fish and
So you see, so that's why I'm coming from, is to say that, of course, before Biadola comes in, when you have personal values, balancing it, what it means is that you have to drop some guards. Like you have to say, you know, some of these ones I have to give up because it does not match with the other person's values and of course where it's coming from. And that's why I came with that example.
And I think that's really great. Some of the times we don't know, I mean, like he said, dropping your guard, but what then should be the boundaries that we can keep? How low should we go? What should we not give up in order to just make the marriage work?
I love Matthew 7:12 or so, which says that in everything do unto others what you would have them do to you. Right. And I think that is one of the principles that also underpinned our marriage. What I don't want you to do to me, I don't have to do it to you. Okay, and that has also been one of the problems in a lot of places where this man says that he's abusing the woman, or the woman knows that she's abusing the man, either physically, psychologically, emotionally, financially, and all that. You know very well that you are abusing that person, right? The question is, granted that you are the victim, how will you feel? How will you feel? How will you take it? Okay, so we must come to the place where we'll understand as couples that you don't do to your spouse what you would not want your spouse to do to you. And interestingly, Jesus said that this sums up the laws and the prophets. It sums up the laws and the prophets. That means that when you refer to the laws and the prophets, you are talking about the totality of the Old Testament. Okay, because the Old Testament is the two major parts of the Old Testament, the laws and the prophet and the poetical, but the law and the prophet are the very, very cardinal part of the Old Testament. So when Jesus said that this sums up the laws and the prophet, he's saying that the totality of the Old Testament is summed up in this verse. Do unto others what you would have them do to you. And that must be one of the biblical principles that underpin our marriages.
I see. Well, we're going to be getting into some, if you like, action as well very soon. But you're watching our very first episode on the Love Doctor series. And that will start, of course, February is a month of love. And so we want to make sure that you hear the things right. I want us to dwell on the issue of childbirth and also kinship and the servanthood, and whether or not you've had experiences. So you can call in now. Let us know what you think about it. For me, my experience, I don't know whether it was even 6 months or 7 months, and a neighbor of mine who was also a church member was started speaking to me as to, I mean, the question was, why haven't you given birth yet? It was that like upfront. Yes. And I'm like, no, you don't have to be shy. Do you have any problem down there? If you have any problem, I know where to take you to. And I'm like, but this is like not even 6 to 7 months. How was I supposed to give birth? Was it before the marriage, so that by this time it's germinating, it's getting to, because I was
6 months is enough, I mean, for people to start judging whether you can have children or not.
But after marriage,
in some cultures, I'm telling you, I mean, because yes, right? I mean, they'll start to ask. It's been 6 months. We haven't seen any changes yet. Are you doing something? Yes. Is something wrong? Are you busy? Not having time for that?
So I want to hear the societal pressures from our viewers. Have you had that? What has society taught you in your marriage with childbirth, especially? Also, do you have a man who always wants to be a king, served as a king, called my lord? Do you find that romantic? Do you find it a bit, whatever? But did you have any challenge with childbirth from the beginning, where society was pressuring you?
No, we didn't have that. Okay. But we've come across a lot of people who, like you said, 6 months, under normal circumstance, if there is pregnancy, it should be seen, right? So that is what people think. But a lot of people go into marriage with the idea that they have some other things to do, and they would have to do that before they even think of pregnancy, right? You don't know what is in the mind of the person. So why do you start to judge the person? The other question is marriage just about childbirth? It goes beyond that.
Okay, so there's a caller on the line. Gifty is calling us from Kaswa. Hi, Gifty, can you hear me?
Hello.
Gifty, you're on air. Talk to us.
Oh, okay. Please, I want to ask, if you have been married for 5 years and you have no child. And my mother-in-law is giving me pressure, so I want an advice from.
Okay, we'll give you. And remember also that the guests we're bringing here are professional counselors. These are professional counselors, and so they'll do justice. So you see, that's the question.
Okay,
5
I
years.
am the professional counselor. She's not. So,
okay, right.
She's a wife, so she has learned.
Learning on the job. 5 years, mother-in-law says, "Where is my grandchild? I want a grandchild by
Sounds
force."
like a movie.
Nigerian movie.
Yes.
Yeah, so Gifty, I think your husband should be able to handle this issue. Okay, it is the husband who should handle it.
Especially coming from the mother-in-law.
Coming from the mother-in-law. Yeah. It is your husband who should handle it. So if your husband is not handling it, please talk to him. Or if it is possible to get a respectable man, particularly a counselor, to speak to your husband, that would be helpful. Because other than that, there is nothing you can do about it. Let me give you a practical example. This our man,
Is he a counselor?
No, he's not a counselor. He is a film star. He does this thing.
Okay, I see. In Ghana?
Uncle Ebo.
Oh, Uncle Ebo.
Yeah, Uncle Ebo. Yes. He gave a very nice solution to this problem. Okay. On Sunny FM, I listened to it. Mm-hmm. He said that he was having the same problem, right? And the mother was disturbing. One day he just took the mother out and told the mother that this is our issue. Whatever we need to do about this thing, we are doing it. And so please stay away from it and we will handle it ourselves and see what God will do for us. And he said after that, the mother stopped disturbing.
So the man must stamp some authority and say, you know what, mommy,
don't come here.
Is this our terrain?
Yes. After all, birth, it is not within the power of the individuals to do it, apart from the medical examinations and the things you can do.
Mommy wanted to come in. Before Mommy comes in, please don't forget the thoughts. Let's pick this call. Bismarck is from Aboso Okan. Bismarck, can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Bismarck, you're on air.
This is Bismarck. Daddy, good morning to you. You are looking so nice, and Mommy, you are also looking so gorgeous.
Thank you, Bismarck.
The issue about childbirth, I'm also married for like 3 years, and yes, so we don't have a child yet. But the issue is, if I'm concerning the first lady's issue, is there any checkup between both of them? They have to go to the hospital and do some checks. Maybe there might be a problem with the man, not the woman. So if there's any checkup and they are all good, then I think the timing also is a factor.
Absolutely. Understanding the times where we're dealing with that at Action Chapel International, where the chronos and the kairos, the kairos time. Well, you wanted to speak about.
I was going to talk about setting boundaries.
Boundaries, okay.
Boundaries. At times we have to let our parents know that it's two mature people who have decided to marry. So issues of this sort, they have to be careful the way they come in. And much depends on the husband or the man. You know, normally the pressure comes from the man's side to the lady. So when the man sets a boundary that this is my wife, this is my home, I have the right to take decision on from the word go. They'll be careful how they intrude into your family affairs, because I can set ours clearly.
Okay.
That was what saved me.
Okay.
So everyone is careful how to come in and talk to me anyhow or say anything, because you can't do it. He made it clear from the word go. So you can't do it.
Okay.
You can't do it.
Worst case
So-
scenario, Doc, worst case scenario where the man has refused to take authority to stop the woman, and now it's become a battle, and the woman is also suffering from psychological issues. What happens?
Yeah, some of these things, you let me say that the appropriate place to handle it might not be on air.
Okay.
Right. So if you are going through a problem, you need to see professional counselors who will sit you down. Whatever test they need to do, they will do the test and help you, especially if you are blessed to have both of you ready to meet the marriage counselor. They will help you a lot.
Okay.
But apart from that, one thing I am seriously advocating is that every marriage should have what we call support system. A support system is a very respectable person to both of you, right? To both of you. Either a professional counselor or somebody who the two of you respect so much that you are ready to be accountable to the person. You are accountable to your support system.
Okay.
So that when the two of you agree that you are our support system, if there is any issue in the marriage, both of you have the right to call the support system and tell him or her that this is what is happening, without even telling him that I'm going to talk to the support system, because the understanding is that the two of you are ready to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have a difficulty that you cannot handle, like the scenario you're creating, then the lady will have to call the support system, or the young man will have to call the support system. The support system will call the two of you, sit you down, talk with you, reason with you, bring the various suggestions and options for you to see. Then you take a decision on what to do. And whatever decision is taken here becomes binding to the two of you, because it is the two of you who agree that this person must be our support system. So more and more, younger marriages especially, sit down, the two of you should agree that we want to be accountable to somebody. You see, people live a life of impunity when they are not accountable to anybody. And most of the marriages that we see with difficulties, either the man has become something that nobody can handle, or the woman has become something that nobody can handle. It is because they are not accountable to anybody.
I see.
So they must be accountable. Support system.
Right. Yeah. Accountability is very key. We have some 10 minutes to go. Yes, you want to say something finally?
Taking me back to the earlier issue, Daddy was raising the leader and the man being the boss.
Okay.
And the woman is becomes a servant. When you look at this system, our cultural system, we see the women, I'm talking about this delayed childbirth. We see the woman as, it's the women who get barren. But men don't have any problem. That's what we think. But if I could remember, there was a say some years back, they realized that there's a greater percentage of infertility amongst men than women.
Okay.
So I also want to use this platform to plead with men. When they are having such issues, the two of them have to seek help. Either the medical side is very important. When it comes to medication or taking of drugs, they should do well. They shouldn't leave it for only the woman. Maybe you might be the man. The man might be the cause. So let's look at that one carefully and do the right thing.
Alrighty, and do the right thing. Well, it's just a beginning of a lot of conversations to come. So we have some 13 days to go to end, but we have about some 9 days to go because of the Mondays to Fridays that we work. We want to get into Laugh Whisper. This is a game we want to get into, right? One of you is going to have a headphone on, and one of you whisper something. You have to be able to read the lips of the person with what the person is saying, and you have to say it. And so who gets the headset and who gets to read the lips?
Maybe it should be a good lip reader.
Maybe are you sure? So we're
It's going to go both ways, actually.
Yes.
So just the moment you're done, she gets to do the same thing.
Some few.
Yes.
Some
So
few.
here you go. You put it on. Let it cover everything.
Okay, so play some music as well at the background.
Yes.
So Doc, can you hear me?
I'm hearing the music, not you.
So it means you can.
It means you can hear.
Yeah. Okay. So it means it has to be.
It's his lips.
His
Yeah,
lips.
you can.
Okay. So tell Doc, love is beautiful.
Love is beautiful.
As she said what she said.
Yeah.
Love is beautiful.
Wait, did you hear it or you saw?
Oh,
Okay. That's amazing. Okay, so now we have to give it to Mommy to try.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
thought we'll do some rounds.
Okay, great. Why not?
More rounds before Mommy comes in. Mention your basic food, maybe a preferred tradition for him or something, a food for him to say.
Banku and okra stew.
No, this one I didn't get it.
So say it again.
Banku and okra stew.
Banku and okra stew.
His favorite dish is
Okay.
That is not a lie.
That's not a lie at
It's
all.
one of my favorite dishes.
Okay. That's it. Okay, so say anything now to him. Lastly,
Daddy, you have been an awesome husband.
It's like lastly, you have been a good husband. Is that
close, very close. Say it again.
Daddy, you have been an awesome husband.
I'm getting the husband, but what is coming is
I see. So let's change over. So it says, Daddy,
Okay.
you have been an awesome husband.
okay.
Yes.
That is true.
So the other lie you would have to say it too.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we're going to say.
I love the music.
Oh, you do?
Okay, so look at my lips.
I love you.
No.
I thought she's a good man.
Just whisper it.
I love you.
Maybe use the Ghanaian English. You are using the British English.
Even the word is not coming.
It's not coming.
So whether he
All right, so
I
let's
should use
I will love you.
It's close. Those are the read lip.
She's only thinking about love.
It's the only thing. I agree.
The word is colorful. Colorful.
So the next one.
Colorful. Yes. Okay. So the next one. I want to take you out to the beach. A little louder, a little whisper.
Okay.
I want to take you out to the beach.
Hey. Come again.
I want to take you out to the beach.
I will. Come again.
I want to take you out to the beach.
I want you to. No.
So I want to take you out to the beach.
I love the beach.
I love the beach.
I know.
We go to the beach. We do.
See, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So
Beautiful.
Now you can take it off now. Thank you. Let's have your final words before we go. Let me start off with you in about a minute to our viewers on in this month of love.
In this month of love, what I want all of us to learn is we can marry and marry well. If we make the commitment and adjustment and decide to leave some things off to suit our partner, as the years go by, you grow together and you know the do's and the don'ts in the relationship, and you also know what pleases your partner and what does not please him. And women in particular, we like nagging. The nagging should come down. Rather, we should put it in action. We should do well to keep quiet and do whatever we need to do to help the relationship. Thank you.
Absolutely, Doc. 1 minute.
Nagging is a speciality of women.
It comes with the curves.
Well, I believe that people can marry for long. Okay, people can marry for long, and it is simply based on biblical principles. Okay, this is what the Bible is saying. So if I say I'm a Christian, let everything about my marriage be dictated by the Bible, and I will grow in it. If we have other things like secular humanistic tendencies, we hide in the church and do traditional things, the marriage will not succeed. Let me tell this story shortly. A lady was having problem in her marriage, so she called the in-law, the father-in-law, and told the father-in-law that this is your son. My husband is going after other ladies, and I want you to talk to him. The father-in-law said that in our home, no man marries one. You see, that is the traditional mentality from the home. No one marries one. But this is somebody who was married in the church. Did he tell the young lady that no one marries one in our home? No. So he hid in the church, appeared a very pious person. Then you start doing those things. So let's leave the traditional attitude behind and be biblical in whatever we do, and ensure that what I will not want this lady to do to me, I shouldn't do it to her.
Counselor Dr. Yao Tete, and of course, Pastor Cecilia.
More Jonas. I'm no more for Jonas than the Yao.
Okay, so you are more with Jonas now.
Yeah.
So Counselor Dr. Jonas
Yao
Tete,
Tete, yeah.
Yao Tete, and of course, Pastor Cecilia Afua Tete. Thank you very much. We're grateful. We wish you many more years to come, and we want this to, just as it's serving as an example to many of us, may it continue to do so. Thank you very, very much. There's a book, you've authored a book?
He actually has about 10 books.
10 books.
I have 10 books.
Okay. So just mention the titles because we've run out of time. So
that's
all right.
Marriage,
so are
okay.
Your questions on marriage answered. Okay. That's authored by Dr. Okay, so Jonas Yautete, the forward by Reverend Dr. John. So these are latest?
No, this is,
Okay,
no,
so
the latest is...
okay, so this also is marriage counselor.
This is the latest.
The graceful parenting, raising a godly generation. Look, we need to read books about these things. For some of us, we've just seen people do it anyhow, and so we need to see it, read it. The Bloodstained Shelter, devotional exposition on Psalm 91, also authored by our guests. And so, please, where do we get these books from? Amazon?
Maybe I'll give my number.
Okay, please do. That'd be great. Please do.
0266
0266
13
13
6644.
6644.
Yes.
All right.
Zero,
mention it again.
266
right.
13 6644.
Absolutely.
Okay, so anybody who wants one can just let me know.
Absolutely. And I'll share with you. I understand you've brought us some books as well.
Yes, I brought these copies.
And
coming Sunday.
Okay.
I'm launching the newest one. That is purely on singlehood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that'll be the 11th
Absolutely.
of the book.
We're grateful for the books. Thank you very much. We'll read it
to read them.
and then share with the people
then we'll
as well.
live them.
Yes.
Yes,
certainly.
Yeah.
Leave them.
All righty, and so that's it. So from 8 to 9 till the 14th of February, we're going to be bringing you conversations like this. You get an opportunity also to call and share your thoughts, your submissions, and of course, your questions with us. Up next is a conversation we want to have, Black Excellence. The issue of Black History Month or Black Our Story Month is coming up next. Let's get you into it, even as the world commemorates that and the entire month of February. Stay with us.
When I found you, I found somebody who
Each morning as we start your day together.
My name is Kokulumo and welcome to Wake Up Africa.
Every morning begins with you, your routine, your goals, your journey. Get ready for the day with us by your side. This is Wake Up Africa, your inspirational morning ride. We bring you the energy you need, the insight, and the motivation to kickstart your day. Wake Up Africa is here to connect you to the latest news, your front row seat to all the sports action. Get moving with us for a healthier you. Wake Up Africa gives you daily forecast, keeping you prepared for whatever comes your way. Join us each morning as we start your day together.
My name is Kokulumo and welcome to Wake Up Africa.
I wanted to make it a surprise.
Why?
I knew the dramatic appearance would excite everyone.
I've been looking for you for a very long time.
Why are you so intimidating?
But you just complain that I'm fat.
But you are fat.
Here is my son.
Give me what I want and I will set you free.
Stop! Jesus has set me free.
Yes, Lord.
On it up.
to Wake Up Africa morning show. If Africa has ever needed to wake up, it's now. I promise you that this Wake Up Africa morning show will impact your life. It will illuminate you. The Bible said that thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. You need this insight. You need the understanding required to make all the difference in all of our lives. I want you not just to tune in to the Wake Up Africa morning show, but I want you to be a sponsor. I want you to partner with us as we take this Wake Up Africa morning show, the inspiration it brings, the impact across all Africa, to homes, to individuals, impacting lives. Join us to make a difference. It is said and believed that in this life, what you do to change the life of others matters than what you acquire for yourself. It is believed that it's not what you have, what you possess that matters, but the difference you made in the life of others. I believe as you partner with Wake Up Africa morning show, you'll be joining us to make a difference in the life of so many people out there. Partner with us, and every time we touch a life, you are blessed. Every time we impact a family, you'll be remembered for good. God bless you. Looking forward to partnering with you and tuning in to Wake Up Africa morning show.
Every morning begins with you, your routine, your goals, your journey. Get ready for the day with us by your side. This is Wake Up Africa, your inspirational morning ride. We bring you the energy you need, the insight, and the motivation to kickstart your day. Wake Up Africa is here to connect you to the latest news, your front row seat to all the sports action. Get moving with us for a healthier you. Wake Up Africa gives you daily forecast, keeping you prepared for whatever comes your way. Join us each morning as we start your day together.
My name is Kokulumo, and welcome to Wake Up Africa.
Thanks for staying with us. That was a conversation about love. How about we talk about black excellence now? Quite a number of people have raised concerns. I don't know why, but we'll get into that by way of some questions. But this month we're commemorating across the world. We're commemorating the Black History Month. But again, we've been told to say Black Our Story Month. And so that's what we're dealing with. But of course, one of our guests had to correct me last week on that particular one. I'm excited about that. But today we'll talk about black excellence and how and why we need to celebrate them, celebrate that phenomenon. Sherry Donaldson Thompson is founder of Sunshade Energy. She joins us. For those of you who know her, you don't know this name. This is her name. It's not Mama Lou. This is her name, right?
Mama Lou
yes.
is the brand.
Yes, okay.
And Sunshade Energy was a while back. So what I'm going to say in a small correction, the Black Our Story Festival and the Black Our Story podcast. That's what I'm currently working on.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm in a story now.
All right. Well, that. Of course, Jazara and Did I destroy it?
You did wonderfully. You did wonderfully.
Okay. Jazajiman is an executive director of Memorial and Education Foundation, an entrepreneur, a mentor, an educator, an NGO strategist, a community advocate, and a philanthropist. All of them. Charlie, you're good. You're good. You're good. Welcome.
I sent you all of that. You know that, right?
Yes,
of course.
I didn't send you all of mine because then we'd be here for.
But talk to me before I be at the line. When we started commemorating, some people started asking, Africans do celebrate the Black History Month. So why are we commemorating it as a station? And why should we celebrate the Black History Month? We already know we're black and all of that.
Yeah, no, we don't know we're black.
Oh, we don't?
We don't have it. We're having an identity crisis.
Tell me about it.
Okay? And a lot of times people are programmed with so much media from outside of their own communities, outside of their own sphere of influence. They're being programmed. And anytime people can come and dress the way I see folks be dressing, like you're kind of naked here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what I'm saying is they're seeing that on TV and they're emulating that. Black folks have a tendency to emulate what's out there on the media as their thing, as their tea, so to speak. But that's not the tea. You need to learn who you are and what you've done, how excellent we've been in putting forth technology, putting forth mathematics, putting forth art, putting forth everything in civilization. We forgot who we are. And so because we forget who we are, Black excellence is nowhere to be found. People would rather go and buy clothing from the West than get something made in Ghana or made in Africa. When we got material that is off the chain, I'm starting to sound like New Year. Okay. You can hear this?
Yeah, we can.
We've got GTV, we've got, ATL, we've got Printex. Some of these cloths, like you get the old ones, they're still good. Grandma got it, and you go into grandma's, little something, and you look for that cloth and you're like, it should have been faded and something happening. It's still looking good. Okay. Whereas, I don't want to mess up anybody's brand, but other stuff coming from other places. I mean, I've had outfits made, and 2 years down the line, it's fading. Okay? So what is Black excellence? Okay? And when we have it excellent, why aren't we supporting the excellence? Okay? So you can't have Black excellence unless you support Black excellence, unless you practice Black excellence. It's like, okay, if you don't give me a chance to make something and make it good and continue to improve on it, it can't get to excellent. It's just mediocre.
That's right.
Let's see.
Well, but it seems to be more of maybe Black Americans or Black people in other places who are more concerned about Black excellence and all of that. Why should people here in Africa be concerned about Black excellence, Black history, Black our story, Black our lifestyle? I mean, why should we be concerned about it?
Okay. First, I would like to speak to the original purpose of quote unquote American version of Black History Month. Okay. Black History Month was given to us as a token to pacify us, to make them think that, we are minding you. So what we do as Black people do is we take the ball and we run with it. So if that's what you're going to give us, even though we are definitely going to celebrate ourselves every single day, because every day is our story.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Every single day. As we sit here,
tell it like
originally from America, sitting amongst our Ghanaian brothers and sisters, it has to be our story. So when they come and give us this little 28 days or 29 days, not only was that a token that they gave us, we took it and we made more than that. The reason why we feel as though, let me take it back. The reason why me, Jazara, and they call me Obaya Papebi. You both had to say Obaya Papebi.
Obaya Papebi.
Obaya Papebi.
Obaya Papebi.
honey.
Uncle, you were able to say that.
He was able to say it.
Oh, Jesus.
The way that, hallelujah.
Amen.
Don't start it. We in the right place, in the right time for the Lord at all times.
Okay, now tower down. Everybody, okay.
The composition has changed.
You see, I'm bringing it back down.
That's
to y'all.
right.
The reason why I think Black history is important is because they tried to strip it from us. Yes. It was more than just the chiefs giving us away and we're being sold, the white people selling us. That the mentality, the continuous, purposeful, masterful job of extracting our history from us and putting us in a land where we can't remember our own history. We have to go back to our story. We have to do the research. For me, I had to come back to Ghana because it couldn't just be that. So Black history is excellence. It's straight like that. Sometimes you don't need a whole lot of. Black history is excellence. The fact that we can stand here both on our side as well as on your side in the face of our ancestors, in the face of those who were before us. And understand when we are talking about Black excellence, you are Black, I am Black, you want to call it African excellence, it's still us who are Black. So it's very, very important to me to tell my story, to listen to other stories, to teach my own children, my students about their history. And that is the important part. And as we move and keep going, to have things like Sherry is doing, so we can continue to document as we grow. You understand what I'm saying? So the history is actually the present and the future all at the same time. Okay. Because right now, a very wise man once said, my husband will be glad that I'm quoting him. A very wise man once said, Mr. Ajman, he said, the future is now. So even when we talk about our history and our story, what we are doing right now is
part of our story.
Part of our story in creating a future for us. Yes. So it is excellence, and we are excellence.
When we come back, we'll touch base with what you've been doing and also what's in the pipeline, what you're going to be doing the entire month. That ties into what exactly we want people to know, even as we work on the mindset shift of people getting closer to the phenomenon of Black excellence on the soil. Because I love the question from Biadela, who says that it seems as though it's just from outside all the time. You can see that there's excellence here, but we cannot because we are not practicing. Exactly. So we went onto the streets and we asked people who they love, or the Black guys who made it work, the Black women who made it work. And so and they mentioned some of their names and the people they want celebrated. This is what they had to say.
I'm Emmanuel.
My name is Shika.
I'm Zainab.
Seyedi Rafiat. Ajimari Honesty.
Kwame Nkrumah and Nelson Mandela. Kwame Nkrumah.
I'll start with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
I know of Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, and Jomo Kenyatta.
Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Harriet Tubman.
It's important because it gives people an idea of the people who helped to fight for the freedoms Africans have today, or Black people have today. Yes. Because he brought independence to Ghana and he was the first president of Ghana.
Their efforts are what we are enjoying for today. For example, we being able to move freely and talk freely are all benefits of their efforts. So I think they are worth celebrating.
I think it's important to celebrate them because they've impacted positively in their countries or wherever they are coming from. So they need to be celebrated.
Because they fostered a sense of pride in Africans, and then they gave us freedom. They helped build Africa to what it is right now. And I mean the Black Americans who are in America.
Right, so we heard all the beautiful names, yeah, but one of them that actually sticks out to me is Kwame Nkrumah. That name never dies out anytime we're having a conversation about Africa and all of that. They didn't mention Rosa Parks, but it's one of the ladies that did it for me too, right? So Shelley?
Let me say this. You see how they went back to past folk. They didn't look at the present folk. The late Thomas Mensah of blessed memory. You wouldn't have all of this stuff going on here. Right now, Ghanaian. Hallelujah.
Amen.
How many young people in Ghana today know the father of fiber optics, know the reason that they're sitting on their computers and all the things that they're doing, that was a Ghanaian that started that movement, that started that trend. The PC, Dr. Mark Dean, I don't care, you wouldn't have a laptop if it wasn't for him. Working for IBM, he was an intrapreneur. Not an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur.
Working it from inside
Working
out.
it from the inside. So that, I would have liked to have thought that he would get more credit than he did, but he was working for IBM. But has 33 patents on the personal computer.
Oh, great.
So start with that and then go forward. People got to start from somewhere.
Is it that the things that they did were not documented? We were not told the right stories. How it is that we don't know all these people, or we didn't ask the right questions?
Good. You're not asking the right questions. Who invented the light bulb? You were told Edison.
Yes.
Oh no. The light bulb works with a filament, and the person that invented that was Lattimore. Now, because we couldn't patent back then, black people weren't allowed to patent. The credit was given to the white person that employed them.
It's that part. It's
that part. It's intentional.
It's intentional
Okay?
to leave us
So
out.
you don't know that half the things that you're using today, if not more than half, that you're using today was invented by a black person.
And signed and delivered by a white person.
That part. That part.
Yeah. So how can we change that? I mean, because we still have lots of young black people trying to work white-collar jobs, working in big companies and all these...
Doing TikTok.
Well, yeah, and all of that.
There.
How do we rewrite these stories so that now we know the right people who did these things, then we can celebrate them? Let me go.
If I may, I believe that it is our responsibility as the elders, the same way that we rely on our elders, the same way that you right now, you can get on the VIP bus. There's some elder somewhere over in the Volta region who has a word for you. So even as we move to this next stage, because all of us are at this age where we are becoming the aunties, we are becoming the grannies. So I don't fault the youth. How can you fault a child? How can you fault the youth? It's not their fault. It's our own fault. If you want them to know something, if you want a child to learn, you have to teach them. Yes, they will have their own initiative. They will, take it upon themselves, but you have to push them. So if you're going to let your child have a tablet, then engage with them and say, these are some things I want you to look up today. Look up who invented this, who invented that. Because as Sherry said, those things are hidden from us, okay? It is intentional for us not to know that. So at the end of everything, it has to do with awareness and education. We have to tell them, we have to tell our stories. We have to put it in the school system. And before the school system, you have to be teaching your children from home. How is it that you can go outside if you ask them a different question? Let's say you ask the youth out there, what's your favorite music? Oh, you will hear the Shatawale, this, that. Why? Because that's what they are surrounded by. That's what they are listening to. So if you ask my daughter right now, if you ask her for her iPhone, when you open it, it will be the Temptations. It'll be Frankie Beverly and Maze. It will be Tina Turner because she's around me. It'll be Shaka Khan because she's around me and I'm teaching her and she sees from us. So we just have to be an example.
Good music. The good music.
I love what you're doing, but let's avert our minds quickly to the environment, right? Yes. And I come from a PR background, so the understanding is that image is everything. Image, what it means is that if it comes to me, it's my identity. what it means is that if I lose it, if I lose my identity, then I don't have everything. That's what you started talking about. I agree with you 101% on the issue of identity crisis as Africans. When you come in, first of all, because of your accent, I'm looking at you, and I know you look like my grandmother from Keta Jelukope, where I come from. But once you start speaking, the accent, there is a gap. What do you think?
What accent give me away?
So the English.
What accent give me away?
Okay, so the English. No, Mamalu, wait. I know. The English.
Is it the Jamaican accent?
Maybe that one.
Or is it? Okay, so
maybe that one. So the English. So I'm coming to the point. No, I'm coming to a point, Mamalu. So the point is, the advocacy is good. But who do you think we can pass it through as well while you're doing so, where it gets closer to the child? Because if my child cannot speak English and speaks Ewe or speaks Chi, what it means is that language has to be spoken for understanding. And I'm asking, language is important as far as identity issues are concerned. You have been here for about 20 years. 28. Who must get up and follow up with this advocacy really?
Okay. With this, you might not invite me back.
Okay.
I love it. Let me get ready.
Okay. Ooh, Lord, don't let me mess up.
We call on him.
The church has an opportunity because I see in my church that the children come in their numbers. The parents actually bring some neighbor children with them. Okay? Because the neighbor child needs to be educated. So one of my, from the congregation will bring not only hers, but bring some of the neighbor kids on. So they have Sunday school. They have a place where they learn about Jesus, about God, about, their spirituality. Good. Now, when we go into a church, I see a lot of error. We're not edifying the people. We'll spend 2 hours, and this is what the Bible says, don't do it. We'll spend 2 hours speaking in tongues. And nobody understands what's going on. I'll walk into a congregation, and for a good half an hour, you're speaking in tongues. But you're not supposed to do that unless it edifies the body. So who's giving the interpretation of that? It's not done. It's an error. Instead, what should be happening is you give people an opportunity to understand who they are in the environment, in the community. What are the job fairs that are going on from the church angle? Okay? You don't have any testifying going on. I remember I used to, because I'm from America, we walk in the church, testimony time, you got a line. Shoo! A line. Everybody wants to say something that God did for them. A line. Where's the line here? Where's the queue here in Ghana? Where's the queue? To testify, to tell the story of how God has brought you thus far. That's part of the story. That's part of our story. That's part of our identity. If you hear that this person, came and they didn't have this and they, wow, look what God did. He can do it for me too. Then you get confidence. That black excellence comes into play because, if he can do it, I can do it, and even better. Because God, you know me, I'm the apple of your eye, so you need to come and do this even better.
So the church has a role to
play. Honey, they got the role.
Okay.
It's not a role, they got the role.
So you mentioned job fairs. What other ways can we help with the issues of identity before I come to Mrs. Ajiman?
We can actually begin to help young people understand that they don't have to be a doctor, a lawyer, a banker. Come on. Okay? They can be an artist, they can be an actor, they could be a musician. Huh? They could be a fashion designer. They could be a model. They can be a caterer. If you're going to be a caterer, you best to be a good one. Hallelujah. Because, you know, we like to eat. Well, no, I went there.
I'm not a caterer. Get right. That's why I love it in Ghana.
I see. How about you, the issues of identity?
I need a tissue for my nose.
As a former college professor, I am always going to edge on the side of education.
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
And what Sherry said, Miss Sherry, Auntie Sherry, never any disrespect, all protocols observed. As Sherry stated, the church has a role, school has a role, everybody has a role. Like, it's almost like sometimes people forget what the word community means. It means all of us.
Common unity.
It's not just me, it's not just you. You have a role. You are fulfilling your role right now. Your organization, your station is fulfilling your role right now by bringing these conversations to the forefront. So I think when it almost, like sometimes people want to point the finger. The fingers, if you're pointing fingers, then they should be like this and you should be giving jazz hands because it's for everybody. It's for everybody. The media, you have the opportunity.
But let's stay with education.
Yes.
Have you taken a look at the educational setup?
Absolutely. So
and
for
what
me,
would you have to say curriculum-wise to classroom to the instruction period
he tapping in.
and learning and all of that? Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
I think very much. I do a lot of educational programs here in Ghana. My NGO, which is the Vince Memorial Ghana Education Foundation, that's the reason why the main portion of the foundation is education. I have tried to connect with Ghana Education Services to bring my own programs. When you talk about what is the advocacy, we have to start from the beginning. I have a program that's called Confident Girls, Bright Futures. I go into JHS, you have to start young. I go into JHS classes and I teach them how to be confident. I teach them personal growth. I teach them how to deal with peer pressure. I teach them journaling. I teach them, I have a book that we go through every single week. There's 150 women in it. Like Sherry said, of all walks of life, all Black, all African. Just last week, we were studying Roxanne Shante. Are you impressed? I had my Ghana girls studying Roxanne Shante. If you don't know who she is, she is one of the original Black American rappers, hip hop rappers, female, period.com. But she was so instrumental. What she did, it opened it up for so many more.
Absolutely.
So we look at all levels of excellence. And when you start at that level, you have to, it's a longer conversation. But when you think about how the children are brought up culturally here, it's, you know, this is the mentality. It's like, do your chores, blah, blah, blah. So even they're not getting that confidence from home. So the program that I do with them, it teaches them ways to build their confidence, which has to do with knowing that you are Black and you are excellent. I have this conversation with them every time we chant, every time. I'm amazing. We are here. We are Black. We are Ghanaian. We are beautiful Ghana girls. We are confident girls with bright futures. Do you know the impact that has on them? I can walk up to the school. These girls will see me. They will come running. Oh, Baya Papi B. Oh, Baya Papi B. You're in. Look at me. Look at me. I teach them how to love themselves. The girl came. She said, look, I did a facial this morning. My skin is looking very Black. Can you imagine an African child? She snapped. She said, my skin is looking very Black.
She's not bleaching.
Okay, exactly.
That point.
Because I will tell you the truth, when they see me, when I first came, because of the skin tone, that's a longer conversation. I'm always willing to come back. Because of the skin tone, the children treated me a way that would really take another hour of your time. And I had to. It took 4 weeks of me coming to those girls to teach them their Black excellence. I said, I go to Bojo Beach and lay out trying to get what you have, but it's not for me.
But a lot of us have this as well.
Yes.
Your skin tone.
Our land is not strange.
That's why they will tell me, like when they see me, if I use my fake accents and I try to do my accents and then they will say, oh, they'll either say I'm from the North or maybe I'm LA.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, or they'll think I'm Nigerian.
Yes.
But the programs that I have, they're deep in the rural areas, like deep in Gomoa, Abetifi, where the children need help, where some of them have never even come to Accra. They've never been outside. So that is where you have to start as well, because their minds are ready. I'm telling you, when you come in to teach them, they are so appreciative. So when we have that, we all have that opportunity to teach them.
How about doing it also through the parents and the teachers? Because
Absolutely.
again, that's where I'm coming from.
I love it.
You might not stay with them all through, but they go back to the environment.
So the way the program goes is
Okay.
after I'm done with the program, my specialty in college was curriculum generation and program generation. So I leave 2 things. We have the program with the children, we have meetings with the parents, and I leave curriculum for the teachers to follow up with the students.
That's right.
I still come every
right.
month until they are finished JHS. 1, 2, 3, I come once a month just to check on them. I check on the teachers twice a month to make sure that they are following the short curriculum. You know, they have that extra class at the end of the day where they're usually, let's keep it, it's exactly that. It's an extra class. So that's my time. That's Obaya Papa B time. So I go out into the schools and I pitch my program. And it has to be continuous. What we are doing, our story, our education, everything, it has to keep going. You can't just do a program in a school and disappear.
Okay.
It doesn't work like that.
Gotta be sustainable.
We are all educated here. So you know you can't just take one test and you know the whole curriculum. You have to 101, 102, 103, 202, 202, 303 until you get to your points. Okay. So exactly what you said, it has to be a full circle moment. So like Sherry said, imagine a full circle moment that I'm having with the students, the teachers, the parents, and the church got in it too. Hey! It will go on very, very well. It will go on very well.
Then a lot of education and sensitization have to come in, I guess. But our story month, Black Our Story Month, and the festival, if you like. Talk to us about it, what you have lined up.
Okay, so let me tell you where it started from. I looked at the word his story. And, you know, sometimes you be having a conversation and you look at something and you say, okay, Lord, this says his story. What's going on here? Because he's pointing to it. And it's in my mind, and it's bothering me, okay? Because he'll trouble the water, you know? He'll trouble the water, okay? So the water was troubled. And I saw that history, and I said, that's the problem. We sitting up here with his story about us, not our story about ourselves. And so you don't even hear me say the word history anymore. You know, she's just learning here. Yeah. I will not say the word history. It's our historical. Okay. It's past story. You know, I've got to train the people I work with because this festival, I have a lot of young people working with me. If they walk in and, you know, oh, we're doing, excuse me?
The business culture is as follows.
You know, yeah. So it came from inspiration, and you know, inspiration comes from God. Yeah. And we had the first one at a beautiful little place called Ijula, at Hacho side there, Atomic Road, and for a maiden event, it was successful. But I saw what people wanted to talk about was really something that they wanted to talk about. So, I mean, we had health, our 4 pillars, health, we had resistance to enslavement, okay?
That's a deep one.
Yeah, let's not start with that.
Yeah, we might not
okay,
finish that.
we gotta have another.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. I'll pin it down. Resistance
pin it down.
Okay, great.
Agriculture and food security, and we had arts and crafts. Okay. This year I added 4 more, and I'm like, okay, Lord, you know, what we doing? The 4 that I added were dance and music, because our story is in dance and music.
True.
Okay. Fashion, accessories, fashion, textile, and accessories, because the cloth does speak. Mm-hmm. You know, some patterns you can't give to certain people because the cloth is talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And storytelling and film.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, so y'all are part.
Okay.
And innovation and invention, because that's our future. We have so many amazing young people that are here on the continent and in the diaspora, Africans, that have invented some amazing things. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm about ready to go to Burkina Faso to get me a car.
Oh.
I heard about it.
Okay.
I heard about it. Okay. Yeah, Tesla, you gonna have challenge. Okay. I might move to Burkina Faso. See, y'all. Catch up, Ghana. Catch up. Okay. Kantanka.
Give us a minute.
The first car that I'm gonna buy for myself
Please, Nacho.
is a Kantanka. Okay.
Yes, Kantanka.
And I'm sitting here going, y'all got people, putting together cars, but see. These are cars that are put together in Ghana.
Assembled.
Okay, assembled in Ghana. No, he went the step further. Made in. Made in, okay? My dad worked for GM for 30 years, so I get the car love from him, and my son gets the car love from him. And we would like to see us make our own. Korea made that decision. And I remember the first thing they came out with made in Korea, the cars, we started laughing. We're not laughing anymore.
Yes, 'cause it's,
Okay?
yeah.
When you make a decision for excellence, when you make a decision for yourself, and you own it, and you sustain it, you maintain it, okay, that becomes the norm.
I see.
So now we're all sitting up here acting like Koreans. Hallelujah.
So these are the thematic areas you were looking at, and so every day till the end of February.
No, well, our festival is the 15th and the 16th. That's the first weekend, because, I can't have nothing during the week because y'all be at work, and I don't want to mess up stuff. And the 22nd and the 23rd. So the first weekend, again, health and wellness, because we do not take care of ourselves. And we think Big Pharma is supposed to take care of us. Yeah, no, okay? And even though I'm sitting here with a bag full of pills, because I got to take certain things for my sustenance, supplementals and stuff like that, that's not a problem. But we have remedies that are also good. And so we'll have people that are talking about traditional healing practices and things that we can do for ourselves that were working back then and should be working now. Resistance to enslavement. We had a lot of people resist enslavement. Now, the FIAC festival here in Ghana celebrates the Busala people who literally, don't come their territory to take anybody, because they put on that horned hat, and all of them marched, and they will gore you. Okay, they weren't having it, okay? And people talk about going to Salaga. You need to go to some other places, okay? There needs to be a whole movement from where enslavement started from. Everybody come here, go to Cape Coast, Elmina, Khartoum. Honey, you need to start where it started.
Indeed.
That's also our story.
Indeed.
And again, when you only tell half a story, it's not a story.
That's true. That's true. Pick some final words before we let you go, and we're excited about it. Again, finally, quite a number of people are watching us across the world. Talk to them about what you want changed now. And now that we're getting into our story, let's reiterate it if you have said it already.
We have to be more dedicated to us. It's very simple. It's not about hating other races or anything like that. We as Black people, to continue our Black excellence, we have to get past this barrier of I'm better than you, you're better than me, I want to bring you down, I want to pull you down. Because one thing that's a fact is that's the mentality of a lot of Black people in the States. And I also see that it's the same thing here in Ghana. And I'm telling the truth. If you get too successful, you know what happens in the village. You know how traditional things go. So if we want to continue our Black excellence, as simple as it sounds, some solutions are simple. We just need to get past that barrier and begin to connect with each other and not tear each other down. Okay. We have to educate each other. We have to share insights and share information. We have to be active in our blackness. We have to be active in knowing that we do have a story that needs to be told, that needs to be documented, that needs to be updated. Okay? We have that excellence within us. So education will always come in. Teach our children. Learn from our elders so that we can then give that to them. As an African American coming back to Ghana, I need to learn from you. You're supposed to be telling me. I didn't just come back here to be an African American in Ghana. That makes no sense. I came here to learn every piece of my heritage I can. So if I'm in the Volta, take me. You have your responsibility. Take me to the elders. Tell me something that I can't learn from the books. And I'll tell you something about Roxanne Shante. And I'll tell you something about Mayor John Street in Philadelphia. So you can get our side of our story. And you can tell us your side of our story. Then it really does become our story. You know, real talk. So educate, honey.
I see. Final words, my way.
I'm going for the policy changes.
Okay.
Education policy. We need to stop thinking that everybody else's history is our history. It's not. It's not our story. The narrative is not ours. So we need to be teaching African our story.
I see.
Okay? That's a policy change in education. A policy change here in Ghana, oh, you will not invite me back on this one. Sherry, you go, Lord, just help me.
The Bible say call on him.
Here. Woo. We need a policy change in accommodation.
Okay.
I'm going through something right now, and I got to tell you, we call people renters and act like they're paying month to month to month to month. When you have somebody pay a soft loan to a landlord, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you're not a renter. You're an equity participant.
Come on, language.
Bam!
Come on, Cornell.
Oh, you done told.
We trying to act right on this program. Thank you so much for having us.
Okay. Well,
I'm changing that policy. I'm going
crazy.
for it.
It's crazy.
And once we go for that, we change the GDP.
Yeah.
Because then we don't have a whole bunch of feudal lords and serfs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? Everybody has equity because they have contributed to the society.
Absolutely. All right. I want to agree with that. And if you have paid rent these few months or days, you would understand where Mahalu is coming from. But these are the events coming up. The flyers are on the screen. Please take note of them. The Black Our Story Festival 2025. There's also an on-site postcard broadcast that's by you as well, and all of that.
E-games. Oh, my e-gamers, women and men. You notice I said women first.
Yes.
Yeah, you all can come.
Absolutely.
Pop-up museum. That's where you learn some of the, you need to help me with that because I've heard you, girl. Yeah.
The pop-up museum.
The Suriname exhibit.
Okay.
The Maroon people knew how to resist enslavement, and they did it. Come and see. Dental screening, that's the first day, because you know you all need to have a smile as pretty as mine.
Indeed, indeed.
Pop-up shop.
That's
We're
where the
all made in Ghana, made in Africa. Don't come with no foolishness. Innovation and invention, that's our future. And we're going to be showing, we have maker classes there. People that are going to be showing you what they did to innovate a certain space, a certain thing. Yeah.
Okay,
art and craft. Well, I can tell you, Ghana art is some beautiful stuff. And I just sit there, you know, wishing I had more money.
I'm so proud of Ghana when it comes to art and stuff, because all over the world, they know what to do.
Interactive mural.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be so there are spaces there. Where are you going to be on the walls?
No, we have a board.
Boards.
This is at the Coconut Grove Regency Hotel.
I understand.
You know, folk would be, we're at the Coconut Grove Regency Hotel, so we can't be painting on the walls.
Madame Cherie Donaldson Thompson is the founder, or now engages himself in the Black Our Story Month Festival, and of course, Black Our Story Month podcast. I got that right now. Okay. So,
it's a movement.
Right, all right. And Mrs. Ajiman.
Amen.
Obaya Papevi.
Obaya Papevi. Hallelujah.
Yeah, he's a founder and executive director of Vinks Memorial Gardening and Education Foundation. She's an entrepreneur, mentor, educator, NGO strategist, community advocate, and philanthropist.
Sherry.
I had to go all of this.
I gave
Sherry's in there. I didn't.
It's been a wonderful time.
Yeah,
Looking forward to
thank you
15th
so
and 16th.
Ladies, that's your natural hair. I see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Only honey. That's for another conversation. Just put me in the books. I'll just be here.
Come on, just put us in the
I'll just put myself on a regular schedule of what you need to know.
It's good to be black and know you're black and actually appreciate that you're black. Now, black is the way to go.
Gifted and black.
Ooh.
And that's a fact.